Every single battery pack, regardless of its cell chemistry or size, will slowly lose its ability to store and deliver charge as it ages. This usually takes the form of an overall reduced storage capacity when compared to new, as well as a higher drop in voltage under load caused by physical changes to the individual cells within said battery pack. In an attempt to minimise this, the majority of electric vehicles on sale today have battery packs with active cooling. These systems are designed to ensure that the car's battery pack remains in a very narrow temperature range to ensure peak performance, efficiency, and longevity. Some cars, like the Nissan LEAF and no longer made Mitsubishi LEAF, do not, and, as anecdotal evidence over the last 8 years shows, suffer far more from the effects of age-related battery pack degradation as a result. Cars with most noticeable battery degradation are examples of the LEAF, LEAF, and other non-active cooled battery pack cars that live in warm climates, have been rapid charged a lot, or have a really high mileage. Under the terms of its battery warranty program for the Nissan LEAF, Nissan guarantees that LEAF and, where sold, ENV200 battery packs will retain a set percentage of their original capacity after a specific period of time or mileage driven, which is usually around 8 years or 100,000 miles. The actual details on the warranty does vary according to market, so I'm not going to go into particular details here. However, while the majority of LEAF owners are still driving their cars on their original battery packs, as I detailed earlier this year, our 2013 LEAF is still driving around on its original battery pack with 2 bars of lost capacity and real-world 50 to 60 miles of usable range after more than 85,000 miles, some LEAF owners are finding that their cars' battery packs are not offering the range that they had once hoped for. And thus, customers are taking their LEAFs to their local Nissan dealers for warranty replacement of their battery packs. Some are finding their cars' battery packs are still within warranty, meet the eligibility criteria, and are getting new or remanufactured replacement packs free of charge. Others are discovering that their cars are no longer under warranty and are faced with a choice: buy a new battery pack for a huge chunk of change, deal with a car with a dramatically reduced range, trade in their car for another one, or find a third-party solution such as a DIY salvage replacement battery pack. Nissan has recently increased the price of its LEAF battery pack for out-of-warranty replacements in the US from $5,500 to nearer $8,500, and in other markets we've heard of even higher prices being quoted. But one LEAF owner in Australia recently got the shock of his life when his local Nissan dealer quoted him more than $33,000 Australian dollars to replace his car's battery pack. A battery pack that had, since he purchased it into 2012, lost 2 capacity bars. As the folks on Auto Expert TV detailed on their YouTube channel, ACT resident Philip Carson was quoted $750 Australian dollars by his dealer to actually carry out the work to replace the original battery pack, and $29,600 Australian dollars for the actual pack itself. Throw in sales tax, and the total bill was 33 grand, nearly 63% of the total price he paid for the car when it was new in 2012. It caused a complete outcry on the internet, rightly so, providing shock and horror to existing LEAF owners fearing that the same may happen to them, and complete validation for those who've been saying for years that electric cars are stupid and will run out of charge and need a new battery pack every year or so. I've reached out to Nissan and managed to get a response to this particular situation, but I can't help but think the problem is one that Nissan has most certainly brought upon itself, or at least made worse, a situation that it could just pretty easily fix by helping existing owners buy replacement batteries for older electric cars and by putting liquid-cooled, thermally managed battery packs in its new models. But before I get to that, I just want to note one thing that's super important about Mr. Carson's situation. According to Nissan Australia, quote, Nissan has introduced a subsidised battery exchange program for vehicles sold by its Australian dealers. Nissan Australia will exchange a working 24 kilowatt-hour battery with a state of health of 8 bars or less with a new 24 kilowatt-hour battery for $9,919 Australian dollars plus the cost of fitment. It added that, quote, Nissan Australia has contacted Mr. Carson and are working directly with him to address his concerns, end quote. That, I suspect, means that the dealership in question was either trying to fleece him or perhaps was unaware of the subsidised programme and the proper process for replacing the battery pack. But I should note also that that programme uses 8 bars as the minimum, not 10. Since the battery replacement programs, I've also seen detail returning the old battery pack and recycling it in the invoice. I suspect that the case here is that the dealership didn't know what was doing. Regardless of incompetency or corrupt intent, it seems the dealership is now being dealt with and Nissan is working with the owner to replace the battery pack in question for a lot less, I hope, than the quoted $33,000 originally asked. But as I alluded to earlier, this is something that Nissan could and should have prevented through better dealer training and awareness of the LEAF. Australia isn't particularly forward in its attitude towards electric vehicles, so I'm guessing the dealership in question doesn't have to deal with a huge number of Nissan LEAFs, but again, ignorance is and should not be an excuse. I think we've done the whole Nissan should have built cars with active thermal battery management thing to death on this channel now. I've done many videos on it, and as I've noted in my own staff car update on my LEAF back in August, I can't recommend a LEAF as a good used car buy if you live somewhere with extreme hot in the summer. But let's deal with the other thing I think Nissan could and should, maybe even must be doing, offering decent battery pack upgrade paths. I've already covered on this channel why it's unlikely most automakers, including Nissan, will offer battery pack upgrades to existing cars because it would take away potential new car custom from their brand. But I think Nissan does and should stop pretending that Nissan LEAF battery upgrades aren't possible, because as we've seen multiple times, it is most certainly possible. Muxan in Europe is the latest example of a company doing this, converting early Nissan LEAFs with 24 kWh battery packs into 40 kWh LEAFs with no rapid gate problems. There are specialists in Canada, New Zealand and the United States also all trying to bring similar options to market. By pretending that such an upgrade isn't possible when it clearly is does nothing for Nissan's overall reputation and credibility. After all, car companies acknowledge that engine swaps are possible, albeit tacitly, so why not do the same for electric car battery packs? Look, I get that Nissan will probably never see the business sense in offering its own battery pack upgrade path for existing owners, but I hope that it and other automakers see the sense in opening source, or at least selling rights to, its existing battery management systems so third-party industries can build and sell battery upgrade solutions for existing cars that do not require weird reverse engineering, reprogramming of original hardware through software and hardware hacks, or any other number of unnecessary hoops that ultimately increase the price of a replacement option like this. Of course, there's no real reason for Nissan to want to do any of this. Or is there? Because while Nissan may view offering upgrades as detrimental to its desire to sell you a new car, the guys at Auto Expert TV have a very good point. Namely, the best person to buy the newest and latest and greatest electric car from Nissan is an owner who's felt supported with their previous electric car made by Nissan. So what steps would you like Nissan and other automakers to do in order to make electric vehicle battery upgrades more commonplace, easier to carry out, and leaving your car running for longer? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That's it. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to help us make more videos like this, please do like, comment and subscribe. You can send us a couple of dollars our way every month through Patreon, buy us a coffee using Ko-fi, or visit our swag store. We've got a new Halloween store coming very soon. I'll be back with more content for you all to enjoy, but until then, keep evolving.